Hello friends, in this part 2 video we are going to learn how we can enter purchase and sales transaction entries that should be with inventory means stock item and with GST. We will also learn at the end how to generate the basic accounting reports and inventory reports from Tally. So let's start now. So once you open up the document, you have the part 2 details where there are several details has been mentioned. So we start with the first transaction, which is purchase transaction. So to enter the purchase entry, we have to come into Tally, open the same company, which is Srinath Medicals. Now to entering the purchase transaction, we have to go into accounting voucher menu. So in accounting voucher on the right side, you have several buttons. So for purchase, it is F9. Now there are two types of purchase. One is with item, one is without item. So here we have with item. So you have to ensure that there should be so we have with item. So now there should be quantity column in the entry. So you can see that once you press Alt I, there is quantity column is coming in. So first we start with the date. To change the date, there is a shortcut for F2. So we press the F2 and enter the date for the transaction. Then comes the supplier invoice number. So here we enter the supplier invoice number. That's the bill number that we receive from our supplier. Then comes party account. Party account is the vendor from which we have bought something. So here it is Ekta Medicals. So this is a new company. We have to create new ledger. So we press Alt C to create the ledger from transaction entry. So name we write the Ekta Medicals, and under it we put it as a sundry creditors because it is a vendor. Now we fill up the details as an address, phone number, mobile number, email. For now we are just keeping these details. Make sure you enter the GST details also, whether party is regular, registered, unregistered, and company's GST number. So after entering all these details, we have to save. But here we are just keeping this detail. Under purchase ledger, we select purchase account, which we have already created. Now comes the stock item name. So we select the stock item, which is Nivea cream, which we have already created. How to create the stock item? Please watch the part 1. Then you enter the quantity, how much quantity we have bought. That's 100 pieces. Then we put the rate, how much we have been paying for that item. So you see the total amount comes up automatically, that is quantity multiplied by rate. And in the similar fashion, you have to select the second item. So you select the item, put quantity and rate as it is shown into the Word document. Now once we are through with the items, we have to add the GST at the end. That is the SGST and CGST. And amount should populate automatically. So after entering item, we have to press one enter key. So as you press enter key, your cursor will come down one line. And then you select the SGST and then CGST. So after adding the text, you see the total amount in the tally should match with the total amount mentioned into the Word document for the transaction. If it's the same, then our entry is correct. And then you save that transaction. Now we go for the second transaction. That's also the purchase entry. So and dated is a 1st of April. So we come into Tally. We see we are already into the purchase and date is also the 1st of April. So we directly enter the supplier invoice number. Then here we have a party account, Sriji Chemist, which doesn't exist in Tally. So we create the new one, we press Alt C and comes to the ledger creation. So again we type the name of the party and then in under we put it as a sundry creditors because they are our supplier. Then we select the purchase account and we put the items which we have bought. So one by one we select the item and put quantity and rate and then we put the GST. So follow the instructions as shown into the video So we add the next item. We are through with the items. Now we come to the adding of the text portion. Press enter and then select the SGST and then CGST and match up the total amount of invoice with tally and the document. If it's okay, then you accept the transaction and save it. We come to the next entry. So now we have the sales entry. We are selling the goods. So it's a more or less similar to the purchase entry with a slight variation. So for the sales we have a shortcut F8. So once you press the F8, the color of the screen changes. Now we have the date. So you press the F2 and change the date. Then you come to party account name. So here we are selling to Tulsi Chemist. They are our customers. So if ledger is not there into tally, we'll create a new ledger. So we press Alt C and create the new ledger. So this goes under sundry debtor because they are our customers. Rest of the details we are skipping and we come back to transaction. Sales ledger, we select the sales account. Now we add the items. The way we have added it into the purchase entries, the same way we will add into the sales entry. We select the item, then put the quantity and then rate. We come to second transaction. Now we are through with the entering the stock item. We'll enter the text portion. We press one enter and then select SGST and then CGST. So you notice that total amount of the invoice is same as the Word document. So our entry is correct. So this way you will enter the purchase entry. When you are selling the goods to someone, this is how you should enter that. In similar fashion, we have to create another transaction for the sales. So we first ensure that date is correct. Otherwise we changed by pressing F2. And on the party account, we should select the customer to whom we are selling. So here we are selling to Paras Medicals. So if it is not there, we will press Alt C and create the new ledger under sundry debtor. Same way we put the items, then quantity and then rate. So one by one we put both the items. Now we add the text portion. Press one enter and then add SGST, then CGST. So you notice that amount of total should be similar in tally and then Word. So this is how we should enter the basic sell and purchase transaction with stock items and then GST. Now we see the some mandatory reports. So first we come into the purchase register. Purchase register means if what purchase entries we have entered, how we can view them. So for that we have to follow this path: display, then account books, and then purchase register. So this is the path. So we go into display menu, then account books, and then purchase register. So you see there are several months. We go into April and we have two entries entered earlier, so we can see both of them. You press enter to go inside. If there is any changes is required, you can make the changes and then press enter. Otherwise press escape and come out. So this is how we access our purchase transaction. Now next report is a sales register. That means the sales transactions. So we go into display, account books, and then sales register. That is a path for the accessing the sales entries. So we come into tally, go into display, account books, and then sales register. Go into April month. We have two entries posted into the sales. You can see them. If we have to print that invoice, there is a print button at the left corner and you can see the invoice preview. This is how our sales bills look. There are several configurations for the sales bills printing that are explained into different video. You can check them. Now we go into next report. It is called day book, for which you have to go into display and then day book. So let's go into tally and open display and then into day book. So day book is helpful to access any kind of transaction, whether it is sales, purchase, anything. So we can change the date by F2. If you want to see the transaction for particular date, we have to press F2. If you want to check for particular time period, there is alter F2. So you can see first and second of both purchase and sales transactions. Now comes the statistics. Statistics will explain how many entries we have made, for which we have to go into display, then statement of accounts, and then statistics. Display, then statement of accounts, and then statistics. So you see there are 4 transactions. If we go into purchase, there are 2 transactions entered. We can go from this place also. There are sales transactions also entered. Now there is a stock summary. Stock summary means after purchase and sales, what is our stock status, means how much we have in hold. So from gateway we have stock summary. So under cosmetics we have 2 items left out. One is Garnier face wash and then Nivea cream. You can see the closing balance for both the items. If you can go inside entering, you can see the transactions. Now you see there are some items which we have created but it's not showing into the list. That means they don't have any closing balance. So to view those items you have to press F12, and here there is option called show all items including zero balance. That we put it as a yes. So you see there are 2 items with the zero quantity, which means whatever we have bought we have sold it. So those items can't be visible at a first sight. We have to enable that option and then we can see that items. Now this is the stock summary which shows all the items. If we have to see directly any particular item, we call it as an item ledger, for which we have to go into display, inventory books, and then stock item. So you come into tally and then go into display, inventory books, and stock item. Now here we have to select the item for which we can see the particular report. So the same report can be accessible for selected item only. So this is called as a stock ledger, where we have the inward and outward for particular stock item with the closing balance. So these are the basic accounting and inventory reports. So in this particular part 2 video, we learned how to enter sales and purchase with the basic reports. So next video, we have several new topics. Kindly watch it. Thank you.